Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I stated on numerous occasions that the Russians, if they want to win in Ukraine, or at least have the guys in charge of the West back off, they need to attack the banking system, the financial system of the West. Once they attack that one, if the Russians are capable to hurt them a little bit, they will cry like bitches. And therefore they will stop everything because it hurts. They can't put up long with pain. So the Russians have been trying to do the exact thing with the BRICS currency. Now, BRICS, it's the a little organization founded by 4 countries and then plus one, which was South Africa, is Brazil, India, China, Russia, and then South Africa, with the developing economies. And they are challenging the Western G7 garbage, and they don't like it at all. And they're going to create a bank. They already created a bank, BRICS Bank. And now that's a no-no. Remember Saddam Hussein, Gaddafi, Ceausescu, all these guys wanted to create banks that would, challenge the World Bank or the International Monetary Fund, those, or the Rothschilds or other Western banks. And every time they tried, you see what happened with the 3 guys that I mentioned. The Russians and the Chinese and the Indians know that, including the Brazilians and the South Africans. And they say, you know what, we're going to make a bank. And they made a bank. And then they said, you know what, we're going to attack the United States of America's dominance by destroying their racket, which is the dollar, the dominance of the dollar. Remember, the dollar was agreed upon to be the world's reserve currency. And if you remember, Mr. Nixon was the guy who said, okay, now we're going to have the petrodollar, which is every country that produces a lot of oil will have to sell it on dollars. And if you want to buy the oil from Saudi Arabia or wherever you buy it from, you have to use dollars. But guess what? We print the dollars, and in order for you as a country to get the dollar from me, you have to sell me something, and I give you paper or numbers. So you produce a chair, you give me the chair, I give you the dollar. I buy it from you, but I can print how much money I want in order to give you the dollar, and you're going to give me a product that I use, for instance, and I'm going to give you a piece of paper. Then you can go and use to buy oil, so you can continue being a serf for me. All right, so this is one facet of the dollar. Now, if these guys can sell, let's say the Arabs can sell on any currency, any other currency, and not necessarily on dollars, when someone comes and gives me a product and I give him dollars, he's going to say, well, I want you to give me rubles, or I want you to give me another product. We do, like barter. But we don't produce shit. So what are we going to do? We're going to invade, change the regime, and then they will be okay with what we tell them. So what's going on here? Trump said he's going to impose. This is how you realize the situation is grave, is bad. By the reaction of Trump towards the BRICS currency. The BRICS countries, they said, we're going to have our own currency maybe one day. We're going to do trade among our economies using our currencies, not the dollar necessarily. Therefore, these guys will do it with oil, with all these things on their national currencies, not on the US dollar. That means that these guys, we're not going to have certain products anymore unless we produce something. So by Trump's reaction to impose 100% tariffs on BRICS, it tells you how desperate the Americans are if they lose this. So they will probably nuke anybody who would not agree. If this would not work, the tariffs, 100% tariffs, and I'm going to talk about the tariffs a little bit, then I guarantee you the United States of America will bomb countries. That's how desperation looks like. But I have here the Russians claiming that BRICS doesn't plan to have a currency. Well, that's a lie. I'm going to show you one video that I made regarding that, using articles claiming in Kazan in Russia when Putin was offered with the banknote, a future BRICS currency. So let's read what Trump says here. Trump vows 100% tariffs on BRICS if they adopt new currency over US dollar. Why don't you compete, homie? Oh, because this is not the way they tell you. You see, we are told that in a capitalist society, in free trade, that is, I choose to trade things with you or I don't choose if I don't think the price is right, let's put it this way. And it's my right, and you can't come and punch me and take my product. Supposedly that's how capitalism works. It's a mutual or free exchange of goods without being afraid that this guy is going to send his military or his thugs to make you, blackmail you. Well, that's exactly how it works when the promoters of democracy, United States of America, and the Western jackals, the followers, they do. When they lose, they cannot compete through equal. No, what they do? They're going to blow Nord Stream pipelines. They will tell the imbeciles in Europe to impose sanctions on their own industries, their own countries, by not buying the cheapest gas and oil coming from Russia, therefore buying at a higher price from us, because we couldn't enter the European market and compete with the Russians because they sell cheaper. They sell a product cheaper than ours, so we can't. What do you do then? Well, you do what you do best. Remember, blowing the pipelines and then make these imbeciles in Europe to sanction themselves. So this is the way capitalism really works. As I think it was Howard Zinn, a historian, the Jewish historian from MIT, he said, or maybe it was Noam Chomsky. Those guys in Israel hate the hell out of Chomsky. I met some, they were like, where is he? We're going to look for him right now. So he said, over there that's socialism, over here is wild jungle capitalism. That's exactly what it is. They do trade. So what's going on with Trump? Trump is desperate. Why? We can't compete. Therefore, we're going to threaten you. Like mafia style. That's why I call the United States of America leadership Al Capone. US President Donald Trump has promised to impose 100% tariffs on BRICS nations if they decide to create their own currency to replace the US dollar. What's wrong with that? Compete. Nah. The idea, and I'm quoting Trump, the idea that the BRICS countries are trying to move away from the dollar scheme while we stand by and watch is over. We are going to require a commitment from these seemingly hostile countries that they will neither create a new BRICS currency nor back any other currency to replace the mighty US dollar. If it's mighty, why are you afraid, homie? It's a paper tiger. It's not mighty at all. If you're so scared about these guys creating their option. All right. Or they will face 100% tariffs and should expect to say goodbye to selling into the wonderful US economy. They can go find another sucker nation. Okay. So this is imbecilic. So how the tariffs work right here? See this? He said they should expect to say goodbye to selling into the US, wonderful US economy. So that is us. So that is, how do they do it? They say you have a product. This is the tariffs world. What product should I show you? Well, this one right here. I think it's good enough. So you have this product. So this product is made, let's say, in China. China is a BRICS country. And he wants to sell it here against the similar situation produced, I don't know, in Germany. Now, the Chinese will sell this with $1. The Germans, because the cost of production and energy and all that, the production and the manpower cost $10. So for this, you buy it from China with $1, or you buy it for $10 from Germany. But maybe that's not a real analysis because it's going to be 100%. The point is, you can buy it cheaper from these guys and put it on US economy and the consumer will buy it with no tariffs. But if they're going to impose tariffs on it, this is going to be more expensive to buy. Therefore, it cannot compete with the German one that's going to cost $10. Therefore, they will not be able to sell it here because the consumer will buy the German one, which is going to be, I'm exaggerating, $10, instead of buying the $1 from China. But it doesn't work because it's 100% would be $1 is going to be $2. But you understand what I'm talking about. So therefore, the consumer, all the tariffs will be dropped on us. Why? Because the Chinese will not sell it. Okay, fuck off, I'm not going to sell it for $1. Their economy will be affected, and me, the consumer, I will not buy the product for $1. I have to buy it from what is available, from my baboons in Europe, who produce it at 10 times the expense. I'm exaggerating. Therefore, I will pay 10 times instead of this because of Trump, because that's made in BRICS. So if the BRICS tomorrow, the developing countries, that is manufacturing, those guys don't produce these kind of things. These guys are not made by Americans, Germans, French. The guys that these guys are made probably by BRICS countries. So if these guys are making those things over there and they don't sell it, what are we gonna have? Nothing. So the wonderful US economy will fuck up, and you're gonna pay much more because of the tariffs. But you hope that these BRICS countries will say, oh my God, if that happens, my economy is gonna go down because they can't find the same market to sell it. So they will be screwed up, and I'm gonna be screwed up. Who's me? Me, the consumer. Until one of us cracks. It's gonna be the US economy, because we're gonna be bankrupt. As an individual, I can't afford buying things, because I can't take it from China, because China said, okay, you don't want it, you put tariffs, okay, I'm not going to produce this. My economy is fucked up, your consumer will be fucked up. So then, who's losing? Well, it's a blackmail. Let's see that's how the tariffs work here. I'm trying to make you sell it on my preference, let you access my market here with the tariffs low, so you can sell it. And therefore, I keep a balance. But then I ask you to do something for me. All right, so the developing countries, probably the Chinese, will sell this then to Russia or to India, to Brazil, to South Africa. And then we're going to buy the German one, $10, and then the Russians will buy it with $1. Good job. And then they will have their own little economy, their little currency and banking system. And we're going to be doing what? We don't produce shit. What do you produce? Remember, things that are manufactured, that we use daily, most likely, including medicine, is produced somewhere else at a cheaper price. And that someone else is probably a developing economy, okay? As they call it, a emerging economy. So let's go and see what the Russians are saying. Here, Ukrainska Pravda. BRICS not planning new currency, Kremlin says after Trump's threat of 100% tariffs. Now remember, this is Ukrainska Pravda, who is obviously positive towards what these guys the Americans are threatening, because obviously it's Russia, right? They don't understand that they will be fucked up as well. They are the ones that are currently being pounded by both sides. So let's see what Peskov says. This is what Peskov said. There has never been any discussion within BRICS about creating a common currency. I think that's a lie. I'm going to show you why. The BRICS is talking about creating new joint investment platforms that will allow for joint investment in third countries. So, all right, there's never been a discussion with BRICS. I made a video a while ago, right here, and I don't know when I made this one. Let me see. On October 25, 2024. And in one of these articles that I used, I always list down here at the description box, BRICS Banknote, and I'm quoting, all big deals begin with symbols. So this video is BRICS forms its banknote, Putin ready to impose peace, compromise, and blah, blah, blah. So then I went to see what article I used, and I used this article from Pravda, BRICS Banknote. All big deals began with symbols. So Russian President Vladimir Putin was presented with a symbolic BRICS banknote. Why do you think they did this? To scare the shit out of these guys. That's why it was a threat. Symbolic. So at the recent BRICS, recent summit in Russia's Kazan, Kremlin spoke Dmitry Peskov, the same guy who says, we're not planning anything. Okay. He said, called the note quasi-money because he stressed it epitomized BRICS member states' mutual cooperation. So the note quasi-money. All right. And he says, here's what we know about this unique banknote. A total of 1,000 such notes with a nominal value of 100 BRICS were printed in the town of Kirzach in Russia's Vladimir region. The bill was made in the run-up to the 2023 BRICS summit in South Africa. What is this? What is this? And then you got this one coming from Financial Express. And it says, BRICS unveils symbolic banknote. Symbolic. Right? But it says here, BRICS unveils symbolic banknote, pushes for local currency trade amid dollar debate. Pushes for local currency trade, blah, 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 right? And it's the same thing. It's a symbolic. All right, he's half truth. Now we got your DNA. BRICS unveils symbolic banknote to challenge dollar dominance. So if it's just symbolic, how do you challenge? That means it's not symbolic, is it? Is it? And what it says here, the banknote displaying the flags of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa symbolizes the nation's common goal of finding alternatives to the US dollar for international trade and transactions. So, are they making a BRICS currency? You can say no more, they shit their pants. Well, we find out, find out. Remember, winning by deceit. Isn't that Mossad's motto or something like this? That's how you win. Sun Tzu. The art of war is the art of deceiving. That is, I'm weak. Give me your fucking money, motherfucker. That's how you do it. All right? So you... and then you... Oh, what the fuck? All right? That's what you do. That's why when someone comes towards me with a pistol, hey, give me your money, I'm going to start crying. I'm going to get my don't hurt me. Play like a baboon. And the guy's gonna, and when he does, then he's gonna be like, bam, and you get shot. All right. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.